For many college students across the country, they have been at home since Thanksgiving and have been taking classes virtually. But many of them will be back on campus this month, causing concern about COVID on campus. So what can students do to go back to campus safely? So joining us this morning is Dr. Jill Grimes. She is the author of the Ultimate College Student Health Handbook. Doc, I feel like, did you have to write amendments for this handbook now?
Well, honestly, the COVID information changes so quickly that we don't have anything in print in the book. But yes, we absolutely have updates on my website.
Oh my goodness, I would imagine so. I can see the parents right now just getting nervous sending kids back to campus or even across the country. What do you want the parents to know and do before they send the kids, first of all? Let's start with the parents.
Sure. Well, I'm one of those parents, so I completely get it. I've got two kids going back to school. Actually, one's continuing remotely. But the first thing you need to do is make sure that you've got a fully stocked first aid kit for your kid. And for COVID, the extra things that you want to add in, the most important thing probably is a pulse oximeter. This is the little thing that goes on your finger and measures your oxygen saturation and your pulse. And that can be really, really helpful for the people who are triaging on the phone. When you call in, of course, you want your thermometer so you can tell them what your temperature is. And you want them to be prepared with the things that they're going to need to take care of themselves if they do get COVID. Parents, remember that over 85% of COVID is still very mild disease, and college students happily are generally healthy, and so they typically do have that mild disease. But make it easy for them to take care of themselves. Stock up their first aid kit. Make sure that you check expiration dates. Make sure they've got cough drops, Tylenol, Advil. Something you may not think about is putting in little packets of like Gatorade or Pedialyte, but you want an electrolyte powder so that if they get dehydrated from the fevers from COVID, that they've got something right there where they can take care of themselves and hydrate back up.
Okay, what are you telling your college kids and your student who's going on campus?
I am telling them to make sure that their masks, look, everyone knows to wear masks and socially distance, but college students are notoriously not super great washers. So along with washing their clothes and their sheets, masks are supposed to be worn one day and then toss them in the hamper. So please send at least a week's worth of masks and make sure that they're throwing those and getting them washed, or else they're not really doing as much good. So that's number one. And the second easy thing is to avoid public restrooms.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's and I'll follow up on that. Why is that?
Because public restrooms, one, heavily trafficked, so you've got tens of people coming in and out. The ventilation is poor, and so that's just one of the highest risk areas to get exposed. And if you do use the public restroom, go in and out. Do not use this as a phone break as you're sitting on the potty. Just get in, get out, get your hands sanitized, and get out of there.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so what about the socialization? The kids, they want to meet for brunch, they want to go to the bar. What are you telling them?
I am telling them make their dates outside. Bars really are not a good idea. We know that. Anytime you're eating and drinking, obviously you don't have a mask on. So we're trying to encourage kids to schedule events, go take a walk around the campus with your friend, or just anything that's outside is better than inside. And it's really better not to be eating and drinking in large groups because, again, you're going to have your mask off.
Right. Yeah, I considered that as well as just, you sit at a table and you take your mask off with how many people there at the table with you. So you really want to consider your own social decisions that you're making. All right.
Exactly.
Give me one last thing. I know I'm taking away as well to do my laundry a little bit more. Thanks, Doc, for the reminder. What else do you want the kids to know?
I want them to know that exercise is super important. A lot of people have heard the message to stay home, which is good, but it's not stay home and just vegetate at home. If you don't get out and exercise, it's really bad for your mental health. And we're seeing so much anxiety and depression. And the two things that you can do to really stave off anxiety and depression are aerobic exercise, 30 minutes of getting your heart rate up every single day, and getting good quality sleep. So those are the things for New Year's resolutions.
How do you feel about that student resource center, the student gym? Should they be going there or try to exercise outdoors mostly?
I would still encourage mostly outdoors. The gyms are really, the college universities, particularly, listen, University of Arizona is one of the best in the country in terms of everything they're doing for COVID. Anyone going there, whose kids are going there, you're very fortunate. But in general, outdoors distance is better.
Yeah, okay. And the pulse oximeter is very important as well when you're trying to triage. What's the goal? I don't know, is it number 90 something?
Yes. So it depends on your where you are at sea level. Yeah. So at the moment I'm in the mountains, and normal oxygen saturations up here are very low because I'm at a high altitude. But typically across the country, we are hospitalizing people if their oxygen saturations are measuring less than 95. Now, that's just, if you're ever short of breath, that trumps whatever is on this machine. Yeah. But it's just a good extra piece of information, just like what exactly your temperature is when you're doing phone triage. And talking to the clinics.
Doc, thank you so much. Best of luck to your kiddos who are headed back to school as well.
Thank you. Good luck to all the kids.
Yeah,
thank you.
No doubt.